We are the Israelites. We come out here week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom called America, a.k.a. Babylon the Great in the Bible. And to let you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians know that you are the true Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Let me get Deuteronomy 28. No, let me get Deuteronomy 1:1. Let me get Isaiah 58:1. Give me that Isaiah 58:1 first. When you got it, let me know. Read.
All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not.
That's right. So we about to be loud out here, and we ain't sparing nobody's feelings, because the Bible doesn't care about your feelings, man. We only out here to tell you the truth of the Bible. So we don't care about your feelings. If you have a problem with what we saying, then you got a problem with what's written in the Bible. Because we're not giving you our words, we're not giving you our personal opinion, we're not giving you our personal philosophy, we're only giving you the scriptures as it is written in the Bible. Right? So we want to let you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians know that y'all are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and then we're going to go into some other subject matter. Today, we'll probably be breaking down John 3:16, because that seems to be the Christian's favorite scripture, John 3:16. But they don't never tell you what John 3:14 says. They never can tell you what John chapter 3 and verse 1 says. They just put John 3:16 on the bumper sticker. They put John 3:16 on the t-shirt. They put John 3:16 on the coffee mug, but they can't tell you nothing else about the book of John chapter 3. Read.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
You see that? These are the words that Moses spake to all Israel. He wasn't speaking to the Chinese man. He wasn't speaking to the Caucasian man, the East Indian man. He wasn't speaking to the Arab man. He was speaking to all Israel. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. You give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. So Moses was in the wilderness with the Israelites. The Israelites made a covenant with the Most High God that they would be his people and he would be their God, right? So let's see what the conversation was like between Moses speaking for the Most High and the Israelites. You got that? Read.
This the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And this shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, and which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
You see that? So the Most High made a covenant with the Israelites. He said, if you continue in my ways, you walk in my ways and do my will and keep my commandments, I will set you on high above all nations upon the earth. Did King David sit upon all nations of the earth above them? Didn't King Solomon do the same thing? Yes, they did. So that prophecy came to pass, right? Read over here.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
You see that? So curses is not a good thing. The Most High said if you don't do his commandments, that all of these curses shall follow you and overtake you. We're going to take a look at some of these curses and see what these curses are about and see what nation of people that these curses fit. Because these curses are also put there to be a sign and a wonder. You should be wondering, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, you should be wondering why you in the condition that you in. You should be wondering, why are my people on the bottom? Why are my people on drugs? Why my people have the highest rate of everything negative, even though we the smallest population here in this country, right? We got the highest rate of abortion. Why is that? We got the highest rate of domestic violence. Why is that? We got the highest rate of divorce. Why is that? We got the highest rate of single parent households. Why is that? All of this negativity, gang violence. Why is that? I'm going to tell you why that. Because as the scriptures said, we have under these curses. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 28 over here. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 16 right here. So let's take a look at these curses and let's see who these curses fit. You got Deuteronomy 28 and 16? Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
You don't think that our people are cursed in the city? The scriptures say, cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the fields. Y'all live in Milwaukee. Y'all know that we surrounded in Milwaukee. If you live in the city of Milwaukee, all the outskirts of Milwaukee looks way better than the city of Milwaukee. In the city of Milwaukee, you curse with poverty. In the city of Milwaukee, you curse with all type of garbage in your neighborhood. Drug paraphernalia in the grounds where your children walk on, where your children are supposed to be playing. Plagued with gang violence. Plagued where your children can't even go out and play because they got to worry about catching a stray bullet. These are curses. Cursed in the city. Cursed when these police come and beat you upside your head with a damn silly club, or they want to stop and frisk you because you're not trusted. Right? They don't carry it the same way on the outskirts of Milwaukee. They only come to your neighborhood and treat you like that. Right? These are curses. He said, cursed in the field. What people was in the tobacco field? What people was in the cotton field? What people was in the sugarcane field? They still got us in the field today. Like I always say, it went from being in the cotton field to being on the football field. You still working for Esau, the Edomites, right? The Edomites own the football team. Right now, everybody's waiting to see if the Milwaukee Bucks get to win the championship, right? But our people, who is the most of players in the basketball league, is you so-called blacks, are the majority of the players in the basketball league, but the blacks here in Milwaukee can't even afford the tickets to go to the stadium and watch the championship. So you tell me you ain't cursed, but you're sitting around like, oh man, I can't wait. I hope the Milwaukee Bucks win the championship. It'll be a good look for the city. How is it a good look for you, so-called black man, if the Milwaukee Bucks win the championship? Is it going to put any extra money in your pocket? Is it going to help you pay your rent? Is it going to help you pay your electric bill? Is it going to help you put food in your baby's stomach? Because the Milwaukee Bucks win the championship? But we love folly though. We love entertainment. But all of those Edomites go to the basketball game and take up all the seats, and they sit there and watch your brothers, our brothers, run up and down the court for their entertainment. And then the flip side of that is what? They call it the Milwaukee Bucks. What was they calling the black man when the black man was on the plantation? They was calling him a buck. Like, look at this nigga here, this strapping young buck. Right? But we forget about that. You don't even know when they mocking you. You think they talking about a goddamn deer. They ain't talking about no deer. They talking about the players on the team, the Milwaukee Bucks. Right? And then you know you can't have a buck if you ain't got no winch. Hold up, you can't make this up. Every time we come out here to teach, Satan make sure he's sending sirens through. Goddamn fire trucks coming through here making all that noise, and they ain't doing nothing but going to buy some donuts. You feel me? But yeah, man, the Milwaukee Bucks, right? You know, and we celebrate that. It ain't no different than what they do to our native Indian brothers with their sports teams, right? Like the Redskins, right? It's the same situation. Only difference is our people don't stand up and be like, nah, you gotta stop that. You can't be mocking us. But these are the curses that we deal with. Cursed in the city and cursed in the field. Give me Deuteronomy 28:28. Got it?
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
You see that? One of the curses is that the Lord is going to smite his people with madness. Just look at our people. Look at the condition of our people and look how they deal with it. It's not madness. These other nations look at us like we clowns, man. These other nations look at us like we crazy. In astonishment. Like, look at this. Look at these brothers and sisters out here. Look how they dress. Madness. Walking around with your pants hanging off your backside. Madness. Walking around putting weaves and extensions in your hair. Madness. Always drunk on drugs. You know what I'm saying? On drugs and drunk out of your damn mind. Walking up and down the street, ranting, screaming, yelling. This is madness. This is the madness that our people live in. And this is one of the curses that the Most High said he was going to put on his people. The madness. Right? Let me get another one. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 32. You give me Deuteronomy 28 and 54. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
You hear that? Another one of the curses that the Most High said he was going to put on the Israelites is, your sons and daughters shall be given to another people. Now let's look at that for a minute, man. Wasn't our sons and daughters being given to another people during slavery? Right? When we was on the plantation, wasn't they taking our children and selling them off? They was taking some of those young bucks and some of those wenches and they was making them have babies so they could sell the babies. So now, plantation owner number one sells to your children the plantation owner number two, and you never get to see your children again. But you sit back and you'll say to yourself, oh, that was in slavery. That was on the plantation. Well, what do you think Child Protective Services is? Ain't Child Protective Services coming in our communities, taking our women and our brothers' children, right? They take your children and they give your children to some foster family, and what happens then? They indoctrinate your children. You know what I'm saying? The whole LGBT community, they come in there, they adopt your children and have Ted and Fred walking down the street with your child, teaching your child how to be a homosexual. Right? Taking your children, giving your children to another people. Right? Taking your children, putting your children in the foster home so they could be molested. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me this stuff doesn't take place. Bring it out. You feel me? These scriptures are real. They're not lying to you. So yes, just like on the plantation, when they was taking your children and giving it to another people, they still doing it today. Not only that, your children got to go to another nation of people to get educated. That's right. Your children got to go to another group of people to learn about their history. What sense does that make? The same people that brought you over here on the slave ship is the same people that control the curriculum in your public and private schools. So now when your child goes to school and your child learns about his history, it starts at slavery. They don't tell you how great you was before the transatlantic slave trade. The only thing you know is that your foremothers and your forefathers was on a hot-ass slave ship, and then they came over here and they was on a plantation, and then some good old white man named what was that cracker name? The Emancipation Proclamation.
Abe Lincoln.
Abraham Stinking Lincoln. Abraham Stinking Lincoln came up with the approximation manipulation. And we still running around to this day thinking we free because of that dude, man. You know what I'm saying? And they tell you that, you know, this good devil came along and he freed you from slavery. But yet you still got to go to the same nation for everything. But you think you free. You got to go to them for food. You got to go to them for water. You got to go to them to get permission to leave the country with a passport. You got to go to them to get a social security card. You got to go to them to get a birth certificate. You want to drive, you got to go to them to get a driver's license. But you free though. You think that if you go buy some property that you own it, but you don't. Why? Because you still got to pay taxes on it. And if you don't pay the taxes on it, they'll come and take it. Then they have something called eminent domain. Eminent domain. That means they can come and take your property whenever they feel like it and give you pennies on the dollar for the property that you paid for. Right? But you think you're free though. You're not free in America, so-called black man, so-called so-called Hispanic man. You're not free. It's all manipulation. Matter of fact, let me get Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 47, man. Let's prove that in the Bible, because that's one of the curses. What you holding for me? 54, hold on to that. 1 minute. That's right. If I'm lying, come prove me wrong. Come prove me wrong. Tell me these curses don't match our people. Tell me these curses don't match our people. See, our people don't want to hear this truth. They'd rather walk around in their delusion. But this Bible is real. This Bible tells the truth about who we are. Instead of you walking around calling yourself an African American, a Jamaican, a Puerto Rican, a Cuban. Look what's happening in Cuba right now. You got that? Read.
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. You hear that? We ain't served the Most High and thank him for the abundance of all things. Everything on this earth used to belong to us. Everything on this earth used to pertain to the Israelites. But we didn't appreciate that. So what happened? Read. Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Wait a minute. So the scripture said one of the curses is that we're going to serve your enemies, which the Lord shall send against you. I mean, let's be real. Do you think that these devils that came over to the west coast of Africa shores, that they took our people in slavery, do you think they could have did it without divine intervention? Hell no. They could barely beat the worst of us now. Unless they got a whole bunch of artillery and guns. Unless they got a whole bunch of sticks and billy clubs. That's the only way they can overtake us. Because physically we stronger than them. Mentally we got more endurance than them. They know it. That's why they hate your stinking guts. Because they know that you're a stronger people than them. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6 over here, man. They know it. They feel your presence. Even when you on drugs and you smoked out of your brains, they still know that you are greater people than them. That's why they envious. That's why they hate you so much. It ain't because of the color of your skin. That's a delusion. We think they hate us simply because the color of our skin. Nope. They hate us because they know who we are. Innately, they know who we are. They know what they people have done to our people. And it's all written right here in the Bible. Give me that, Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Normal, like everybody else.
To be a special people unto himself.
Beneath these other nations.
To be a special people unto himself. Above all people.
What?
Above all people.
So the Most High made us to be above all people. Which people he talking about?
Israel.
And what? All people what?
That are upon the face of the earth.
So the Most High made our people to be above all people that's on the face of the earth. Right? But we don't accept that. We've been beat down so long. We've been under the foot of these other nations so long that we don't even believe in ourselves to know that we are above these other nations. But we prove it every day. None of these other nations could go through what we went through in slavery, what we went through in redlining, what we went through in Jim Crow, what we went through the civil rights movement, the crack epidemic, anything that we've been through. These other nations could never go through that and still be resilient like we are. Shit, let's be honest. These crackers can't even stay in the sun too long. Why is that? Because the sun doesn't even like them. You ever seen a show when animals attack? Right? Even the animals don't like them. I've never seen a deer. A deer is supposed to be a harmless animal. Why would a deer run up on a hunter and start beating him up? Right? You seen the crocodile hunter? He got killed by an animal. I seen a bear on TV one time slap the hell out of a Caucasian Edomite woman. Right? So the animals don't even like you. Y'all ever seen the video with the chimpanzee when he ripped that lady's face off? Why that don't happen to our brothers? We live in the damn wilderness of Africa and they'll never get beat up by no chimpanzee. Come on, go ahead. You feel me? These people, like, these scriptures is real, man. You above these other nations. You got something special that the Most High gave you that they don't have, man. When you come outside in the sun, your skin get beautiful and brown and tanned up. You know what I'm saying? When they come in the sun, they start looking like a lobster. It's a damn shame. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 54, man.
Tell them why they couldn't win over there in Iraq. Because of Herbie,
Read.
real love. The black man don't do that.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom.
Hold up. It said that the man who is tender and very delicate among you, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother. And that's why we got Bloods and Crips. That's why we got Latin Kings. That's why we got Vice Lords and folks and Gangster Disciples and all these other gangs that hate each other and kill each other. And y'all sit back, these other nations, they sit back and they watch us do all of this stuff to each other, and they be sitting back clapping their hands. When they get home at night and they safe little houses and they watch the evening news, they sit back and they say, look at these niggas. These niggas is killing themselves. We don't got to do nothing about it. All we got to do is sit back and let them take each other out. And they think that they better. They think they can beat us in the race war too. That's why they got militias all through the Midwest. Right? When you hear these Donald Trump supporters talking about if Trump don't get back in the White House, that they gonna have a war, a civil war, guess what? They mean they gonna have war on us. You know how you know they gonna have war on us? Because how can a white Republican be able to look at a white Democrat and just know that they a Democrat? What, they got on a Democrat suit? They wearing a Democrat hat? Or do Democrats got a certain specific smell to them or something? No. They're gonna attack us. Because they think we love Democrats. Well, some of our people are caught up in them politics, but we not caught up in the politics because we know better over here. We know that the politics of this country is evil and wicked and can't do damn thing for us. It don't matter who you vote for, Democrat, Republican, they ain't gonna do nothing for you. And it don't matter what they look like. Obama didn't do nothing for you. What Obama did, he gave you an Obama phone. He gave you a phone and he said you can marry men. That men can marry men and women can marry women. That's all he gave to us. Right? So when these race wars come, you know what I'm saying, this so-called civil war, even though I never heard how a war could be civil in the first place, but when this civil war come, they're not going to be coming over there fighting each other. You think they're going to kill each other over us? Hell nah. So you better get ready and stop walking around in this delusion, thinking these people love you, thinking that they care for you. And you so-called Edomite Caucasians that's under the sound of my voice right now who may think that you can win, understand this. Them same Bloods and Crips that's in the communities killing each other, shooting each other down in the street, that's just practice. It's just practice for what they're going to be doing to y'all. Understand that. So get prepared. It don't matter how many guns you stack up, how much artillery you stack up. It ain't easy to shoot somebody and take their life. But these young brothers and these young sisters in these ghettos, they doing that every day. They just need to be directed in the right direction. Instead of fighting each other for these blocks that they don't own, they need to start fighting for the Most High God and His chosen people. Let me get back to this scripture right here. Read.
Take it to the top.
It's
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children which he shall leave.
You hear that? We still looking at these curses, right? Didn't I tell you that we the ones that got the highest rate of single mother households? 74% of our households in the ghetto are single mothers. Why? Because the men is leaving in droves. A lot of these men is not taking responsibility for their own children. Why you think some of these children are being taken out the house and given to another nation, just like in Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 32? These scriptures don't lie, man. Like I said, if you disagree, come up here and prove it. Prove us wrong. Prove the Bible wrong of what the Bible is saying, man. But you can't. You can't escape these curses. These curses is real, man. Our children is definitely suffering because these men is not taking care of them, and these men is leaving their children behind. That's right. See that? Single mothers walking around, instead of bringing their kids to find out exactly who they are, they'll stand over there with that devil and let the devil lie to them. Right? The real information is over here. That same red individual that they over there speaking to right now, when this race war come, he gonna hate their guts. See, he friendly right now. But see, it's always our women, man. Give me Isaiah 3 and 12, man. It's always our women. Our women lead our children astray, man. They lead our children wrong, man.
That's right. Bring it out.
You got that? Read. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 12.
Bring it up.
As for my people, children are their oppressors.
That's right. These gangs out here that's oppressing our communities, that's shooting up our communities, the majority of the members come from single mother households. Read.
And women rule over them.
Who rules over them?
Women rule over them.
Right.
O my people, they which lead thee, cause thee to err, and destroy the ways of thy paths.
That's right. See, it be these women misleading our children, man. Because our sisters, no matter how you put it, man, the majority of our sisters, they love the white man. They love the white man. They be like, oh, you're talking racist. You're talking racist. Give me my slavery son, man. See, you know why she's standing over there with that cracker with her children? Because she forgot about this. This is why. She forgot about the lynching. She forgot about the rape. She forgot how they used to burn our families. They forgot how they used to cut our men's genitals off. Right? They forget these things. Right? All the cracker got to do is smile at them and say some kind, smooth words, and they run right to them. But not only will they run to them and let them indoctrinate them, they'll take their children to them too. That's why you so-called black men need to stand the hell up, man.
Right.
You need to stand up and start taking back your families, man. Because as long as you don't take care of your families, they're going to constantly, continuously run to their white daddy, man. Because they love the white man funky drawers, man. I always say this, man. The so-called black woman is the right-hand man to white supremacy, man. Right?
Bring it out.
They're the right-hand man to white supremacy. They'll never come and talk